I don't understand why it is that Joe Vegan keeps making videos showing me dancing, but I'm never dancing to any of the music I would actually listen to in real life. He knows what I listen to. Can you name that sample? Can you name that tune? Yeah, that song starts with the lyric, "Let he who is without sin throw the first stone." None of us on YouTube here are without sin. None of us are perfect. And I actually have very low expectations of my fellow vegan YouTubers, contrary to popular belief. For ages, I supported Joe Vegan's channel. I saw it grow. For ages, I tuned into his channel and laughed at myself along with everyone else. I think there were a lot of very negative things about the vegan drama phenomenon. But I also think that as long as we can laugh at it, it's not nearly as serious. And I do think that comedy can serve an important role. But of course it's hard to draw a line to say, are you part of the problem or are you part of the solution if you're satirizing these things? But I do think that Joe really, he was trying to make the world a better place in his small way. And he was letting even people like me have a laugh at the situation. But I think he really didn't think through how different it is for him to speak for himself in the first person when he was doing live streams, when he was doing other forms of broadcasting, when he was directly making comments on, directly engaging in the production of vegan drama, in contrast to the scripted videos where he's making fun of it, where he's having a laugh at it, and where it's very clear he doesn't approve of the vegan drama scene. Well, it's clear that he's neither really condemning these people, nor is he approving of this kind of bizarre industry of people trying to make money out of slander as a contact sport. And, one of the advantages of really American hip-hop culture is that it openly articulates the whole question of respect and disrespect. And the British, I think, are at a huge disadvantage in that. The British have a lot of trouble resolving those problems because they can't articulate in the first place what is the problem with you disrespected me, I feel disrespected. What even are my standards? What am I expecting of you in terms of showing respect towards me? So like me, for example, I laughed along with Joe, and I used to watch his videos, and I used to give him positive and supportive comments below his videos when he was earning money ridiculing me, because that was comedy. And to me, I don't think in that context of scripted comedy, I don't expect anyone to respect me in that sense. My idea of what respect is in that context is totally different. But then we get into a very different context where he's really coming on camera and doing these live streams, and he is directly providing, really kind of political commentary on this kind of drama, and where he was speaking in his own voice, and he was expressing his doubts about whether or not my legal case is real, about various things in my life and so on. To me, that's especially problematic because he and I have spoken privately. He's alluded to that in his channel, which is totally appropriate, where, I had sent him legal documents or evidence pertaining to my updates pertaining to my case, and he checked with me about what he should say publicly and what he should treat privately and so on. And so throughout that time where he was repeatedly, from my perspective, disrespecting me, really disrespecting me, and saying things that are factually wrong, saying things that have a negative impact on my life, they really do. During that whole time, I was writing to him basically saying, well, look, if you want more evidence, I can give it to you. If you want more details about the legal process, I can show you something to read on the internet. I know he ain't got all the time in the world. But for him to then behave publicly as if there was something mysterious or evasive or lacking or unreal about my legal case, when my situation with him is I'm willing to give him all the information he wants and more. I'm willing to talk to him. I'm willing to show him things privately or whatever. If he wants material that he can share publicly, I can give him that too. And in the past I have, It's pretty boring stuff. It really is. But, I can talk with him about what I can and can't state publicly. I can set his mind at ease. And when he was refusing to take advantage of that, and he was sharing information that he knows is factually wrong, that he knows has negative impacts on me in real life, when he's presenting this stuff that does not make the world a better place in any way, and it disrespects me. And what do you expect, Joe? What do you think is going to happen next? Do you think we're just going to be friends? Do you think we're going to cooperate? I'm going to do a fundraiser for your, animal sanctuary? Now, anyway, one issue leads to another. I have a video to encourage all you guys to watch talking about the difficulties of owning and operating an animal sanctuary. And I believe I'm going to do more videos on that in the future, because 2 of my regular viewers have written to me talking about their experience volunteering in animal sanctuaries. And, it's hard work. It's much harder work than most people think it is. I know a little bit about that from my own experience with farms. And it's a lot more money and a lot more time. And also, other people have written to me saying it's also a lot more hopeless and bleak and heartbreaking. Something I did talk about in that video. That video doesn't name Joe Vegan because he asked me not to name it. How many videos has he got naming me? I can't even count. But I understand. I understand his sensitivity. I do. And in my way, I still want to show respect to him. My point in mentioning this now is, in that video, talking about the animal sanctuaries, there's no malice. I'm not attacking Joe. I'm not defaming him. I'm not ridiculing him. I could. It would not be hard, Joe. It would not be hard for me to come on camera and ridicule what you have to say about animal sanctuaries. And I don't. And, I feel I'm presenting something that's factually right. It's not false. It's not fictional. I don't think it has any negative impacts for you. And I think it is making the world a better place. I think it is actually engaging vegans in a set of productive reflections on effective activism, how to actually help animals, what do animal sanctuaries really entail, et cetera, et cetera. And I'm also open to the fact that different people are going to come to different answers with what have you. I made a comment I made a comment in the company of Controvertible Snitch. His real name is John. John was complaining, and totally understandably. He said he could not believe the level of hostility and infighting amongst vegans, even compared to his experience with the Christian church, even with his experience with becoming an atheist, with getting involved with the new atheist movement, and even compared to his experience with the world of hip-hop, of rap music. And so I made the comment, I started the comment by saying, yeah, I know. So this is in a public discussion forum. Vegans tear each other apart on another level, compared to new atheists, compared to rappers, etc. We're the worst. Veganism basically equals the freelance Spanish Inquisition on the deck of the Titanic. A bunch of people, laughed or put in smiley faces in response to that, what have you. But then there was one response. So this is, I'm saying vegans behave like the freelance Spanish Inquisition on the decks of the Titanic. One person wrote back to me saying, and they all want a seat in the lifeboat before the ship sinks. And to that I replied, no, man. It's not that they want the seat in the lifeboat. It's like, quote, I don't care if I have to swim, but I'm going to make sure you drown first. It's pretty brutal. It's brutal. Honestly, I can't say it's as bad as academic Buddhism. I can't. I'm sorry. Inside the universities, academic Buddhology is incredibly nasty, and it is also about money, sex, fame, religious philosophy, bullshit, power, influence. Yeah. Academic Buddhology is actually worse than veganism. So I can't say vegans are the worst scene I've been involved with. And but to me, it's sad to see people tearing each other's eyes out when they got nothing to win, they got nothing to lose. So, look, I want to explicitly articulate this in case Joe Vegan doesn't get it or in case anyone else doesn't get it. If you make a video that hurts my feelings, that's not a reason to delete the video. That's not a reason to censor yourself. And I've never asked anyone to do that. Like, hey, your video hurts my feelings. Okay? The threshold for why someone should delete a video or delete part of a video, because you don't have to delete a whole video here on YouTube. You can edit out part of it. You can. 21st century technology. If you're putting something up on the internet about me that is factually wrong, especially if you know it is factually wrong, and something that has negative impacts on me in real life, especially if you know it does, because I've told you it does, I've explained to you it does, and I can explain more. And the third point is, and also it's not making the world a better place to keep it online, then why wouldn't you delete that video or delete that portion of the video just as a gesture of respect to me? Okay? Joe Vegan has never even considered doing that, and that does put him on the same level as someone like Vegan Cheetah. I don't expect everyone to issue a retraction. I don't expect everyone to issue an apology or what have you. But let's say, so another vicious lie that people say about me, to my knowledge, this doesn't have negative impacts on me, but I think it could. If I have people on the internet saying that I don't pay child support. Now, I do. I don't really want to say a lot more about my legal situation in France, blah, 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 but I'm a divorced parent. I do pay child support. So, obviously someone just made up that lie, and there are different videos on YouTube, repeating it in various ways. Okay, so if you have a video about me saying that, and now you talk to me or whatever by email or by Skype, and now you know that's factually wrong. You know it can have negative impacts on me in real life. It's not trivial, right? And it's not making the world a better place. Then you should take that down. I think that meets the threshold for when you should delete a video, whether you're Joe Vegan or whether you're anyone else. And again, it's hard for me to imagine a comedy video. If it's comedy and everyone knows that it's comedy, it would be pretty hard to cross those lines. But in the videos that are him speaking factually, that him doing reporting, him doing journalism, him doing live streaming and speaking for himself and speaking factually, you can cross all those lines really easily if you're just not mindful, if you just don't think about these issues of respect and disrespect. I think it's really easy to. Now, I have myself issued an apology in the recent past to Freelee. I'd encourage all you guys to watch the video. The title is something like My Apology to Freelee. It's easy to find. It's a great video. You can watch it. I'm happy to apologize to Freelee, even if it just makes her feel better. I don't need a better reason than that to apologize to someone. The videos I have up already that are insulting towards Freelee, or that she may feel insulted by, I think they deal with factual matters on which I am correct, on which I'm really raising important factual issues. I do not think any of them have a negative impact on Freelee in real life. Dealing with an issue like whether or not it's safe for vegans to eat garlic, because Freelee popularized the idea that garlic contains a neurotoxin. Neurotoxin means a poison that impacts your brain. She was saying vegans should refuse to eat garlic for this reason. This is just one example of a factual issue where I stand by the fact that what I had to say is factually correct. And I do, and my third criterion here, by keeping that video online, I do think, in my small way, I'm making the world a better place. There were a lot of people who saw those videos and really thought, wow, they need to reconsider Freelee's credibility. They need to reconsider the type of scientific claims she makes, the type of health advice she makes, given those examples that I discussed, given those things I raised. Now, Freelee, she's never asked me to delete any videos. And this is a small world. It would be easy for her to send me a message asking me to delete it. She never has. She's never asked me to change anything on my channel. But if she did, those would be the consideration. If she actually wrote to me saying, look, this is impacting my life negatively in some way I can't imagine or something, or she wrote to me explaining that something I said about her was really factually wrong and misleading, without hesitation, I would delete videos I have about Freelee. Okay? Why? Partly out of respect. Even people I disagree with, I can still show respect for them. Even people who've harmed me, I can still show respect for them. And this is the sad thing. The prospect of politics itself requires that we must be able to disagree with each other without making enemies out of each other. Okay? But I have 2 ongoing legal cases in the real world. If you are talking shit about me and my legal situation on the internet, it doesn't take much imagination to think that apart from disrespecting me, apart from insulting me, apart from snubbing me when I've offered, in Joe Vegan's case, to provide him with legal documentation, provide him with further evidence or further details or further explanation, if he has any questions, I'm offering to answer his question. I offered for months, and he turned that down. It does not take much imagination for you to realize how this type of scandal mongering about me can negatively impact my legal situation in my divorce in France or the criminal charges I'm pressing in Thailand. It does not take much imagination for you to realize how this could negatively impact me when I am, for example, applying for a job, to have this kind of dirt spread about me on the internet. And yes, it bothers me if someone like Joe Vegan, if they know me, if I've been friendly to them in the past, and he'd been friendly towards me too, to have them speaking from that position of someone who apparently knows me to our shared fan base of only a few thousand people, it's not that many people who are interested, and discrediting me and pillaring me and disrespecting me, that matters. That in itself has an impact on me because YouTube is also part of my life.